On News Hour versus Subramaniam Swamy, man who held that explosive news conference. Now, every news conference of his is explosive. This was ultra explosive tonight. And he's taking on Sanjay Jha of HamaraCongress.com. Subramaniam Swamy, you're going to be sued by Rahul Gandhi, and I'm sure you are in receipt of the letter sent by his office, which calls the charges that you have made utterly false, baseless and defamatory, a motivated attempt for reasons which can be easily seen, and that Rahul Gandhi's office says they will pursue all legal actions against the scandalous abuse evident in your so-called press conference.
First of all, I have not received the letter, but I've seen media reports of it. And I don't know who's going to do the suing. And they obviously don't know the law. When a person is defamed, only that person can sue, not we. Let them go and learn some law. See, I know that they are very poorly educated people, but at least you should consult some lawyer before sending a letter.
This is a legally drafted letter.
Throw it in the waste paper basket.
This is as good as a legal notice.
Oh, it is it? How about that? It is not a legal notice at all. It can't be sent by anyone. A legal notice can only be sent by a lawyer, by the way.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, do you believe, Sanjay Jha, do you believe that Subramaniam Swamy's news conference, I am going to open this up today, do you believe it was baseless and defamatory? Yeah. Don't you believe that he has raised some valid points which Rahul Gandhi, as a public person holding a public office, should come out and explain now, give in detail?
Arnab, Mr. Swamy's track record is pretty obvious, is clear as daylight. I don't have to repeat that. End of day, Mr. Swamy have been observing him rather closely since Arvind Kejriwal took on the mantle of being India's most talented serial accuser. Mr. Swamy has been very disturbed. He feels his entire agenda of accusing people occupying high offices in the Congress has been hijacked by the ISC rival of his. And, end of day, Robert Vadra was a target for Mr. Kejriwal. So Mr. Swamy believes in escalating that because, that is the kind of agenda he has. Let me tell you, all the news, the press conference that he held today, Mr. Swamy is fully aware that this is out there in an RSS website a couple of days ago. He's actually repeated the same facts over and over again.
Does that make it less relevant?
To answer your question.
Does that make it less relevant?
I'll answer that. Absolutely. Let me answer that. The problem for Mr. Swamy is that he always has been marketing these half-baked truths because, if you heard his first reactions, they sound so personal, they sound so vitiated. It almost sounds like somebody who is out to, score a personal agenda against Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Sonia Gandhi.
Sanjay, are you going to debate the content or only the form? No, my question to you tonight is, are you going to debate the content or only the form? You're talking about the form. What about the content?
No. There are two aspects to it. Let me tell you, one of the accusations that he's made.
Okay, now you're being specific.
Actually thoroughly investigated. No, let me answer that. He says, why wasn't this particular trust, why wasn't it declared by Rahul Gandhi in his election, as part of his affidavit? Basic facts, Mr. Swamy, you are a lawyer, you claim to be a very learned lawyer. End of day, you should know that if a venture has got no commercial or business kind of a motive, it doesn't have to be declared in an election affidavit. Okay. So this is nothing but inflating the issue. Let him respond. And the bottom line is, the very fact that Rahul Gandhi for the first time, this is unprecedented, is sending him a legal notice, is tangible evidence that Mr. Swamy has reason to sweat about it.
Mr. Sanjay Jha argues tonight, Subramaniam Swamy, that this is not a commercially driven organization. It is not an organization driven for profit, and hence by default, it does not have to be mentioned in Rahul Gandhi's election affidavit. Also, I would also like to follow up one small point with you, Mr. Swamy. I have this document, 2008 document. I find, and you mentioned this at the news, I find that the place where Rahul Gandhi's name is mentioned is, and I will now point, it's added in some way. And I have made a noting here. I said it is, when I was seeing what you put out, I said it was written in ink. This is my handwriting, written in ink, my observation. But this is not, this has been written in. It seems a bit, are you sure about this?
Well, first of all, you see, I don't have to respond to that gentleman you picked up from somewhere. He has only worked on my
Mr.
motives.
Swami, you're looking a nervous man. You're looking like a nervous man.
Now, please let me speak. I didn't interrupt you. If he's going to interrupt me, I will terminate this interview. Okay?
Actually, you're a national
Continue, please. Sanjay Jha, let him continue.
Now, again, I'll stop this interview.
No, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, let him
This guy is
continue. No, you
comparing to pick
continue.
him up.
We continue one at a time.
All right.
Please. Yes, Mr. Swami, please continue.
All right. Now, you see, the motive is never a question before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is a number of times the famous Bhajanlal's judgment of 1992. They say motives don't matter, political inclinations don't matter. What matters is the facts. Now, I've brought out some facts, documents, and let me get to what you have just said. That something has been put in ink. Yeah, if you go to the website, you'll see it in ink. I took it down from the website. I mentioned it in the press conference. Obviously, your people didn't tell you about it. And it's there. And then in 2011, it is there. And this is one of the offenses that he did not report it in his electoral papers, that is the candidate's affidavit. So the main fundamental thing is that the Associated Journals was created during the freedom struggle, and Jawaharlal Nehru was certainly his chairman, but he didn't create it. There were Sucheta Kriplani was there, Acharya Kriplani was there. There were a number of other important
Mr. Swami,
people who were not necessarily in the Nehru camp.
Mr. Swami.
Yeah. Now wait. So the question is that the issue that has to be dealt with is how come they were able to buy this company by giving 50 lakhs and promising that the 90 crore loan from the AICC we will handle. And on that basis, they got it and they are renting out the premises.
Can I present a possible reason? Can I present a possible reason? Sanjay Jha, you raised your hand.
Listen, these possible reasons you must relate to some facts on the ground.
Yes,
you
facts on the ground.
Give your own
facts on the ground. I would not try to draw inferences without the facts on the ground at all, because if I'm locking arms with you.
Tell me what it is.
Now, I find that your argument, Sanjay Jha, I'm just coming. I find that your argument says that AJPL was acquired by Young Indian by the following steps. And you list out the 4 steps in which this company, which ran National Herald, was taken over by a company in which 38% stake each was of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Right? So, I presume, Subramaniam Swami, that step 1 is a very critical step. Step 1 in your papers, which you've given today, says AJPL obtains an unsecured loan of 90 plus crores from the All India Congress Committee. And you go on to say this is illegal because a political party cannot give loans for commercial purposes. And you also say the AJPL chairman is Motilal Vora, who is also treasurer of the All India Congress Committee.
Yeah.
You are also a great student of history.
No dispute.
Now, here's my question.
That's got nothing to do with it. It's got to do with
Let me
facts.
come to the point, sir. My point is this.
All right.